I cannot even begin to say how much I enjoyed this game, and I mean, I beat it on hard mode. I'm just so I need it. I need the game yesterday. Luckily, the game wasn't too hard. I mean, I did die my fair share of times during hard mode, but I think it was well balanced, that you needed strategy along with, I mean, honestly, button mashing in order to take down your enemies, along with the thinking about your magic, how to use it, especially since you don't get magic back in hard mode. So the hardest bosses were definitely... Sephiroth wasn't too bad. I only died once to him? I thought he was going to be harder than that. I mean, granted, that wasn't easy and all my characters were dying, but I thought it was going to be worse than that. My favorite boss fight still Sephiroth, even though he just wipes the floor with me. Abzu was definitely harder than I thought he was going to be. He didn't really pose a threat the first time on normal mode. And hard mode, he just, man, he packed a punch. That weird alien thing that killed me like 3 times. I forgot the name of it. I definitely hate that thing. That was not a fun boss battle. I mean, the graphics in this game's amazing. When they cut to the movie animated cutscenes, those are just, they're phenomenal. And every year, or every time a game comes out in Square Enix, I'm like, oh, you know, they can't top what they, or what every other company's doing, and they just surpass it by just miles. It's not even close. And you know, I mean, honestly, the voice acting in this, now that this just came up, that was incredible as well. There was nothing, like, everybody's voice went with their person, and there's not really a lot of bad things to say about this game. Man, did I hate the motorcycle fights. I will say that. And the interrupting of your characters every time you try and do anything while fighting. That was annoying and obnoxious and awful, but as long as you didn't even really have to work that hard to balance your character. It was just make sure you have someone that can heal, make sure you have someone that can fight and take the attention, and that's pretty much it. That's all it took. A bit of management of the ABD gauge, just to not, you know, use everything all at once, to make sure that you always have healing if need be. If a boss used like a special move that took away a lot of your health, it wasn't too bad because you always had access to healing. A lot of the, I mean, I feel like this game was made a lot easier on hard mode, because in the beginning, right, of each level, there wasn't too many like super strong enemies or anything, but towards the end of the level, you know, you'd have your typical boss battle, and after that, when you end up using all your magic on the boss battle, or at least I did, I had to heal all the time. It was the end of the chapter, so I mean, at least then they gave you all your magic back, and it's not like you had to work with, you know, Cloud Under with like 139 magic points the entire, you know, length of 18 chapters. At least it didn't save your progress that way, because I think that would have been impossible. But it definitely also helped. I would absolutely recommend having abilities on that healed your characters. I can't even tell you how many times that saved Cloud and Barret for me. See if there's anything at the end here on hard mode. Oh, more credits. Uh, so what was I saying? You know, I wasn't able to complete game the original Final Fantasy VII when it came out in 95 or 97. Hey, because I was born in 97, so you know that's a little hard to play when you're a baby. Um, but I didn't have a PlayStation till a lot longer, and had a PlayStation at my cousin's house, and that was the only way I could play it. So I made it through about the first chapter up until the scorpion robot, which, you know, for the first game isn't really that far in whatsoever. And I can't remember if I did much more than that, but that's basically all I know about this game. I know the Legend of Sephiroth, and Sephiroth's one of my favorite characters just because of how intimidating he is. But I do know the story of Final Fantasy VII, at least the most of it. I don't know, every specific detail, so I'm pretty sure I missed a lot of things and a lot of nods here and there to what the story did and the story was saying. But just as a game player and I just love Final Fantasy overall. I really enjoyed how this one played differently, or it wasn't the classic turn by turn. It was a bit more speed behind it, and you had to run around a little bit, make sure that you were doing all the right things. And I'm a big fan of the Kingdom Hearts franchise too, and I think it did turn a lot into Kingdom Hearts. And I know it was made by the same company, same development team as Kingdom Hearts 3, and you do see a lot of similarities in it with the action and the being interrupted, and you have to time your actions right, and the big boss battles. But I mean, like, it's a lot of fun. I'm interested to see where Square Enix is going to take this. Are they going to add are they going to make like a whole new game and just call it Part 2? I don't even know if they're just going to... I mean, ultimately my hope for them is to just add either DLC or just... Honestly, they should add a free just update for the game and add it so that you can go farther. Because, I mean, Final Fantasy, what always made Final Fantasy so much fun for me was the free play mode, where you go around and you grind and you level up your character and you make them super strong, and so that you just overpower basically anybody that comes your way. But there are always those secret bosses who go out of their way to make your life miserable. But this one didn't really have that. And granted, the level cap was 50, and usually that's 100 at least for Final Fantasy. So I get that they didn't want to just, because having the free play would make you like grind for the extra levels, but because they didn't have the free play, I understand why they didn't make the level cap 100 and then make you level up super fast, because you'd be leveling up like every other battle, and then halfway through the game you're like, I'm already level 50. That'd be a little confusing. So I understand why they kept the level cap at 50, which I think is one of the biggest reasons why they won't add a continuation onto this game. I think it's going to come out completely separately, because if they didn't, then everybody would just be level 50 playing on as like a brand new game with all the magics and all the summons and all the abilities unlocked at the beginning of the new second part of the game. Unless they make it a lot harder, but I don't see them doing that. So I do see them just releasing it brand new. But also that would be confusing along the storyline, because where did all your abilities to, you know, cast all your magics go? And your summons. So, I don't know, Square Enix has got big decisions to make, but I think they're on the right track. I think that this was probably my favorite game of the year so far, and hey, it's only June, but 2020's been great so far, right? It's interesting that the credits are showing the different dresses I got on my 2 different playthroughs. Because it showed the super red dress, and it showed the not so red dress for Aerith, which was in... I had the super red one in my original normal playthrough because I did all the side quests and did everything. But not in the hard mode. That's interesting. So yeah, so back to the bosses. Rude was a lot easier than I thought he was going to be. Especially because I had such trouble with him in normal mode that all of a sudden on hard mode he was a total pushover. That Phantom that's on your screen right now, that one wasn't too hard, if I remember right. The red-haired guy, I think his name is Reno? Maybe I'm mixing his name up with someone else. The red-haired guy, that was surprisingly difficult. Whoever this... What was that guy's... I'm having trouble remember the guy in the chariot, the horse. You know, he wasn't hard if I didn't heal him during my playthrough. But even then, you know, I didn't die or anything to him. I just had to go for a little longer because I decided to heal him for a quarter of his health. I was really interested by Sang, I think his name is Sang, Sang's character, but you never really got to see him in action. I absolutely love Jessie. Broke my heart when she died, but I have hope now seeing again because I didn't catch it the first time. Her glove and her headband were on the table, so if they found that, maybe they found her. I don't know. I have hope. Still hate Barrett. He's just so irrational, and then scolds people for being irrational. It's like, come on, you can't have both. Cloud's definitely my favorite. Always been a super favorite. There it is. That weird alien thing. Absolutely hate you. I hope you know that. That's the Rude and Reno fight. That actually wasn't too bad, even though I think I kind of got my butt kicked by him. I definitely like to see more out of character development. I mean, there was a lot of character development. I'm not saying that there's no character development, because I mean, obviously you saw the story of Leslie, you saw the story of Aerith, you get to know who she is, you get to see Cloud and his flashbacks. I think there's a lot more behind Cloud's story. I think there should be a lot more behind Tifa's story, and that's just because, I mean, you get like little hints here and there saying that she, you know, like you saw like her cowboy phase here and there. I'm not entirely sure what that's about, because like I said, I didn't play through the entire game when the original game. Barrett obviously has his story of Marlene, and I can only assume Marlene's parents were killed, and he kind of just like took over as being a parent, and maybe that's why he became a part of Avalanche. But I think I'd like to see them go into that a bit more. Hojo I could never see again, and I would be happy. But like I said before, that's what makes a good villain, right? That's what you know. That's when you know he's doing a good job. You know, they went into their fair share of detail about the... Shoot, what did they call them? I called them Dementors the entire game, because, let's be honest, they're Dementors. Whispers? I could be completely wrong, but yeah, let's be honest, I probably am. I want to see more behind them. I get that they're trying to make Fate not get off of its path, I guess. But I'd like to see more behind that, and why, and who's controlling them. Rufus was awful, but at least it didn't take me... Gosh, it must have took me triple the amount of time, because I never got my limit break when I was on normal mode. But at least this one I did. I was able to, and I was lucky to get him staggered and took away majority of his health off of that. I'd love to never see a motorcycle battle ever again. I think I could live without that too. The only thing I really hope does not happen, but I have a feeling is going to happen, is that Square Enix just basically pauses this and waits till the PlayStation 5 comes out to have it out for like a year and then launch, you know, let's say part 2, or I don't even know if they're gonna call it disc 2 or what, because I think that's gonna, I mean, at least for me, I mean, obviously I'll still play it and hopefully I'll still enjoy it, but if you're gonna tell a story, I don't think that story should be told over like 5 or so years. I think if you're gonna do something, do it, and don't just feed little parts here and there, because I think they're going to lose a lot of their fan base off of that, because if you constantly leave stuff on cliffhangers, and granted, this game wasn't a cliffhanger, I'll give it that, you know, it wrapped up everything that it could, but I think if you leave a lot of people wanting more too often, they're going to full on just say, no, I'm over it, I don't need any more. But like I said, I'm a big fan of Square Enix. I really hope that they get part 2 out, or disc 2 out. I know the first game was like 3 discs, so I don't really know what they're gonna call it. Well, I can hope. I mean, it obviously took a lot of people to make this game, and I really do. It's one of my favorite games of the year already, and one of my favorite games of the past like 5 years, I would even say. I had a lot of fun playing it. It was very, very frustrating at sometimes. But Square Enix, see anything at the end of hard mode? Anything special? Well, that's the trophy in the chat. Oh, that's it. Oh, look at that. My team's dying. And I cannot take screenshot now. Alright, well, you guys, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next game.